If you are a man and you're talking to a woman and you can feel that her energy has changed, maybe she's asked for space, she's asked for time away from you, or even worse, you two have broken up, you're probably wondering what you can do next to either reattract her or to understand why it happened, right? So in this video, I'm going to be covering all aspects of that, and I want you guys to understand something very important right at the beginning of this video. There is absolutely something you can do about it. And there's absolutely multiple ways that you can prevent this from happening again in the future. And I think that piece is even more important than what you should be doing exactly next. So if those pieces are going to be helpful for you, make sure that you hit that subscribe button because I'm going to be making more videos about this topic and how to really function in a healthy relationship in the future too. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and you follow along. So I want to start off by talking about a message that one of my community members in my Men of Choice community recently sent me. And he said, the video you posted in the community recently is really powerful and it explains my exact situation pretty well. The only problem is I don't have the power to just isolate myself from her and hope she misses me, and I never really had that nonchalant mindset. Keep that in mind right there. That's an important word. He said, this person is my best friend and she is the one, but I often find myself prioritizing her way more than she ever does for me. So there's two pieces that are really important that I want to talk about before I get to the rest of this message. The first thing he said is, I don't have the ability to isolate myself from her and hope that she misses me and having nonchalant mindset. So the reason why he's saying this is, at the surface level, when I'm talking to men about this specific problem, the one thing that they need to understand about this is when somebody asks for time and space away from you, if you've already communicated with them and tried to make it better, the worst thing that you can do is keep pushing and keep trying and begging to talk to them and beg to see them and beg to hang out because you communicate extremely low value. You communicate that you don't have standards and you don't have expectations of someone else in a relationship, and it is completely repulsive and unattractive to women. But the bottom line is, the word that he used, nonchalant, is absolutely the wrong word to use as a man. As a man, I really don't think you should be nonchalant about a lot of things. I think you should be very decisive, you should be very direct, and you should be very confident. Those are the things that are going to help you attract the types of women that you want into your life, or re-attract somebody who you're with that maybe is pulling back. The bottom line is this. If you owned a home that was worth $400,000 and somebody came up and knocked on your door and said, hey, I'll give you $250,000 for that home. If you were not desperate for the money, you knew the worth of the home, and you didn't need to get out of that house, you would never sell that house. It's the same way in relationships. Why is it that you can understand your worth when it comes to your fitness? You can understand your worth when it comes to, making money, your job, what you expect out of people there. But when it comes to your relationships, because you're enamored with somebody, you don't have boundaries, you don't have standards, and you don't have expectations for the people that you're with. The bottom line is this. When a man messages me and first off says, this woman is the one, I immediately know that he does not understand the dating economy and he does not understand the numbers of everything. There's billions of people on the planet, and you're sitting there telling me that the girl who is the one is the girl who's treating you with indifference, who doesn't put in any effort, and who tries to steamroll you anytime you give your opinion. The only time a man thinks that about a woman is when he doesn't have the self-confidence and the self-esteem to know his worth as a dude. That's really what it comes down to. A dude that knows his worth is never going to sit there and say, oh wow, the girl who's completely disagreeable, who doesn't treat me the right way, and who doesn't put the same amount of effort into a relationship as me, she's the one. So I know that he just doesn't understand it. And I can understand that myself. It takes time for us guys to learn that. It takes time for us guys to understand that. And that's what I'm trying to help these guys in my Men of Choice community accomplish. Getting your confidence right, getting your options up, understanding what to do to raise women's attraction. Like, these things go hand in hand with just really becoming a better version of yourself, right? So just keep that in mind. And let me get to the rest of this message because there are a few more important things in this message. He said, she tends to only really care when we're together in person, but over the phone or when we're hanging out, it just feels like she shuts down and disregards how I feel. So again, reflecting back on that, why would you view a woman as the one when she doesn't take your feelings into account in a relationship? Then he goes on to say, it feels like I get shut down all the time, and I honestly don't know why I even asked for this advice because I feel like I know what you're going to say, but I think I need to hear it again. So understand that outside of just hearing the right things, there is a very important motivational component to this in understanding the accountability of the situation. Just because somebody knows that they should be working out every day doesn't mean that they're working out every day. Just because somebody knows they should eat healthy and sleep the right amount of hours every night doesn't mean that they're doing it. Sometimes you guys need me to reinforce this for you because it takes time. It takes time to grasp it, okay? So for this guy in particular, I'm going to tell you this. The only reason why all of this is happening in his relationship is because he did not set up the dynamic of the relationship properly in the dating process. If this woman was truly into him and she was pursuing him, and again, don't get fooled by people on the internet saying that men can be the only people who pursue someone in a relationship. It's complete bullshit. It's about understanding what you will and will not tolerate during dating and in a relationship. And the bottom line is, after reading this guy's message, I know that he was just completely cool texting her first all the time. He was completely cool doing all the work. He was completely cool with her not regarding his feelings during the dating process because she's not just going to do a 180 out of nowhere one day in a relationship and just say, I don't care about your feelings anymore. It doesn't work that way. When a woman is in love with you and she's invested in you, she's always going to make sure that your opinion matters and that she's listening to you and that she's taking your lead on a lot of things. It is no more complex than that. The last thing I want to say about all this is, what should you do next? If you're a guy who's watching this video and you're saying, all right, Evan, what do I do next? How do I fix the situation? Here's what you do. The first thing is, especially because this is a relationship, this is not just someone you've been dating for 2 weeks, you need to communicate with her to make sure that things are okay with her in her life, right? She might be going through some stuff right now, personally, professionally, and if she doesn't feel heard and understood in this relationship and doesn't feel comfortable to come to you with those things, then that could be a big reason why she's shutting down in the relationship. She might not just be pulling away from you because she doesn't want you anymore. She might be pulling away because she's really going through some things and struggling through things. And to be fair, if you were going through those things and struggling with those things in a relationship, you would want her to have your back too. So the bottom line is, there's a 2-strike rule with this that I have. I don't even care if it's dating or relationship and just in life. You try once, you hope that the person reciprocates, you ask, and you really say, what can I do? How can I help you? What's going on? Help me understand what's going on. Maybe they're a little bit distant. You try again. A couple days later, if things continue to persist, and if they keep stonewalling you, they won't communicate, and they will not put in the effort and the energy, and they're still telling you that they want time and space and a break and all that shit, you move on. And you never reach out to them first again. I don't care the situation. You're not going to reach out to them first. If they wanted to talk to you, they would be calling you, they would be messaging you, they would be pursuing a relationship with you. You tried again. It didn't work out. Now you have to go no contact. You have to move on, and if that person wants to be with you or wants to talk to you, they're going to message you. It's really that simple. And when you're a man and you can walk away and you don't care about the outcome of that, you're showing her that I'm not going to put up with this awful behavior. I'm not going to put up with you disregarding my feelings, and I'm not going to be in a relationship where there's not reciprocity. That's exactly what you should do right now if you're a man. So I think the important thing to note in this situation is, I know my take is very logical here. It's not as emotional as maybe where you are right now, but this is what you need to hear. This is the logical dose of reality that you need to hear to take ownership and take control of your life as a man and do the right thing. Now, if you want to know how to prevent this from happening again, because I think this is even more important than just what you do next, right? If you want to know how to prevent this from happening in the future with either this person or with somebody else you're dating in the future, I want you to click on the next video, because the next video is going to outline my ideal from the beginning of meeting somebody all the way to the formation of the relationship, exactly what you need to do to establish the dynamic of a woman pursuing you. Because again, to reiterate, if a woman is pursuing you, she's not asking for a break, she's not pulling back, she's not doing all those things. So how do you actually get a woman to pursue you? So that's why I want you to click on the next video and see exactly how you can do that. If you need my help and you want to work with me, you have a couple options. You can join my Men of Choice community, which is a little bit less of an investment, and I'll be able to help you there weekly in our meetings. If you need more in-depth help, you can apply to work with me one-on-one, and I can help you out with this current situation. So those options are completely up to you. I will pin the information down in the comments below, but make sure you go to the next video and you understand how to properly establish the dynamic in a relationship to have a woman pursuing you and avoid this from ever happening again.